part of the coaching staff, or was he actually good?
Well, Keenum brought the Vikings to the NFC Championship, but I think it's going to take him a little bit more time to get in step with DT and Emmanuel Sanders, and I don't think the Broncos are quite as talented as the Vikings were last year.
I don't think so either, but I don't think that Seattle Seahawks line could block you, Albany.
I don't think they can either, but I believe in Russell Wilson and his ability to escape and make things happen.
Yeah, that dude makes some magic shit happen.
And I believe in Von Miller to rip his fucking head off.
He knows him well.
It's gonna be bad on. I think the defenses are both gonna have a field day in a lot of respects, but I think Russell Wilson is who I'm putting my faith in over Keenum. So that's where I stand.
So we got 2-1 for Denver so far.
1 for Denver, 2 for the Seahawks.
I gotta go with Seattle until you see more out of Denver. It's to go against Seattle. I don't see it. So
okay, guys, those are our picks.
Sweet. I have to get out of here. I gotta go draft another team.
All right.
Yes, I have a draft tonight and tomorrow, and
tonight's my last one. Last one. Man.
Well, good luck, guys. You guys are the MVP. Speaking of MVPs.
Oh, God. Now I'm definitely leaving.
Have a good night, guys.
I'll hear it. Then I'll go.
In order to be an MVP, you have to leave a legacy. And Baker Mayfield has done just that. Despite the fact that Kyler Murray was absolutely obliterating FAU, all the broadcasters and announcers could talk about was Mr. Heisman himself, Baker Mayfield. Imagine being so great at what you do that when someone else is kicking ass in your position, that you can only think about the person who did it before. That is why Baker Mayfield is your 2018-2019 NFL MVP.
That's how all my ex-girlfriends think about me.
Oh, God.
Also, obviously not true. All right, guys, have a good one. Great rest of the show. I'll be listening in until my draft actually begins.
All right, have a good night.
Study for another little bit.
Have a good night, and good luck with the draft pick. If you have the number 1 overall pick, might I suggest taking Dan Bailey?
I will. He's on my radar.
All right.
There it is.
All right, later, guys.
Have a good night. All right, so Dan Beebe. Now that we got rid of the slackers, as we're going to call them, now that we got rid of them, we say we get to the real part of the show.
Sounds good.
All right, so as you may know, and those of you who are listening, if you don't know, I don't know where you've been. College football has happened. All right?
So many ways.
Yep. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to do a recap of the top 25 games, because if we did more than just the top 25, we'd be here until, say, next Tuesday, and it's going to be a long-ass show. So we'll start by going in order. Thursday, last Thursday, Central Florida had their first game. Yep. Defending national champs start their title defense, against the Yukon Huskies, dominating them 56-17. It wasn't even really that close. It wasn't until Mackenzie Milton got pulled for Central Florida that you even really... Fansville, okay. That you really even saw Yukon have any chance at doing anything.
Right.
Central Florida wins 56-17. No surprise there.
Not at all. No.
On Friday, there was a little bit of a surprise. Utah State went toe-to-toe with number 11 Michigan State. All right. At one point, at the end of the first quarter, Utah State was leading 7-6. All right. Utah State lost, obviously. But Michigan State ended up winning 38-31. A lot closer than a lot of people thought it would be, a lot closer than anyone expected. Michigan State didn't look too good.
No.
Not good at all.
For a number 11 ranked team, you'd think should have been way, much more of a blowout from that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The next game, also on Friday, Wisconsin. I thought they would obliterate Western Kentucky.
That they did.
They did not to the same extent that I expected. I was expecting like a 56-10, or like what Ohio State pulled off. We'll get to that in a minute. Wisconsin won 34-3. I mean, obviously your defense did a great job if you hold the team to 3 points.
Right.
But
phenomenal, really.
Yeah, but 34-3, excuse me. Not what I expected. I expected a lot more
pummeling in the offensive end.
Exactly. I expected a big ass kicking. And we didn't exactly get that. Also on Friday,
your Stanford game there?
Stanford. I predicted San Diego State would beat Stanford. I look like a fool.
Yes. Very much so.
I mean, it's not as bad. Watching the game, it's not as out of hand as
it looks
the score shows.
On paper.
San Diego State was beating the living shit out of Stanford in the first half. Like, not even close. Stanford ended up winning the game 31-10. At the half, it was 9-7. All right.
And if I recall, let's see here. As far as I'll bring up my notes here. Bryce Love did not have a productive game at all.
No, Bryce Love looked terrible. Terrible in that game.
Which is sad because we recently had our college football draft, and I believe he was one of the first, if not the first player to go off the board.
I didn't take him.
I believe one of our friends did.
Possibly.
Yeah. He was like the first one to go, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, but...
I took Will Greer with my first pick. But anyways, the next game, not as close, though, as the score shows. Maryland defeated number 23 Texas 34-29. Maryland was, again, just beating the daylights out of Texas. Maryland comes away with a 34-29 victory. There was some back and forth there in the second half. Texas just looks outclassed, and Maryland's not a very good team.
No, it's just one of those instances where teams got the other team's number for 2 years in a row now.
That is true. The next game is one that we had just alluded to a minute ago, and that's Ohio State, number 5 Ohio State, versus the once proud Oregon State Beavers. Not proud anymore, as Ohio State beat Oregon State 77-31. Consistency from Ohio State is pretty much what you see in this game. Just looking at the box score, in the first, second, and fourth quarter, Ohio State scored 21 points in each of those quarters.
Yep.
They only scored 14 in the third quarter.
Only.
Yeah.
I mean, when somebody tries to one up you, got to sell the score. So, I mean, in that instance, what you do, great, we'll double it.
Exactly. And you got to see Tate Martell come in and play a little bit, which is good for me for my fantasy, because I was playing against Tony, and although Tony won, if Tate Martell didn't come in and it was just Haskins the whole time, I would have been completely destroyed.
Wiped off. Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of being completely destroyed, the next game was Oklahoma and Florida Atlantic. I was thoroughly disappointed with the way Florida Atlantic played. You are a team that returns so much starting firepower from the year before. And to just come away with 14 points.
Laid the egg.
Exactly. Against a team like Oklahoma, where, we make a a big point of saying that the Big 12 just doesn't play defense. And yet you, a high-powered offense, could only score 14. Excuse me. All right. That's probably my most disappointing game of the week.
Yeah.
Moving on, though, because I can't dwell on this too much. TCU, number 16 TCU, slapped the absolute
Southern
shit out of Southern. 55-7.
That's surprising.
No, not surprising in the least. But Clemson, number 2, against Furman. Cute little story going on in this game. I don't know if you caught this or not. And I don't know how this works, so don't ask. But the starting quarterback for Furman is a student at Clemson.
So basically, should have stole the playbook, but didn't.
So imagine if Furman upsets Clemson. Is he disappointed because he's a Clemson student that they lost?
I mean, where's the loyalty stand nowadays?
The next question I have
think
about
so
that,
much.
would he be the most hated player or the most hated person on campus if they did beat Clemson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would be completely banned and, made an example of.
Yep.
Scary as to what, probably like throw rocks and stuff, but
Oh, I hope it wouldn't be that bad, but teasing him and all that, I think that would have been fun to find out.
He'd be basically transferring after the semester, I'd imagine.
I think he's a senior, so I think he would just finish it out.
Finish it out.
Yeah. Let's see. Next is number 3, Georgia. They took on Austin P, who really should be named Austin Poop, because that's how they played. Georgia defeats Austin P 45-0.
Nice warm-up to start the season for them.
Exactly. Oh, my God. So much yawning. Jesus.
One of the better games. Up next.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, depends on how you look at it. The next game is one that I personally was not fond of, but if you're watching as an outsider, I could see where you would be fond of it. Number 10, Penn State.
Oh, you're talking... I thought you were going to do Washington Auburn.
Oh, nope. I'm going in order.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 45. Number 45. Number 10, Penn State defeated Appalachian State 45-38 in overtime.
Yep.
Not only did they go to overtime, Appalachian State outscored Penn State 28-14 in the fourth quarter, including 21 straight points at one point.
Insane.
It is insane. And
too close for comfort, right? But
of course, too close for comfort. And I apologize, I'm yawning. It's like 4 a.m. here where we are.
Yeah, definitely looks like it outside.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Summer's over.
This game was on September 1st. And September 1st, 2007, Appalachian State had an upset in mind when they defeated number 5 Michigan in the Big House. So almost 11 years to the day, Appalachian State almost pulls off another upset to beat Penn State, but thankfully for my Nittany Lions, it did not happen.
Lucky.
Next game, one that I was way off on. West Virginia, number 17, Florida beat Tennessee 40-14. I thought maybe Tennessee, having a defense, might do something, but I was wrong. Next game, this is the one you were alluding to, BB. Number 9, Auburn beats number 6, Washington, in a game of field goals. I'm pretty sure Auburn didn't score a touchdown. Let me check that. I think all their scores were field goals. No, I'm wrong. They scored a touchdown, missed the extra point.
Oh.
That's what happened. But
still, picked the wrong team on that one. Had gone Washington.
Yeah, I had Washington. You had Washington.